this evening in my my happy place, which is my booth at Applebee's, just outside the hotel. I've been here every day for a week now. Yeah, it's a week. Food's great here, by the way. I just ordered a steak and I've got the draft pickle off. So the cliffhanger from last week's episode was my dying bike. Needless to say, a bike that sounded as bad as that and that was bleeding to death didn't survive the night. But I managed to limp it to Alcoa in Tennessee, where they have a BMW garage here called the Good Times BMW garage. But anyway, when they opened the bike up, they found that the main bearing, the front bearing, and the drive shaft into the gearbox had decided that life wasn't worth living anymore and decided to throw itself into pieces. One of those pieces smashed the casing of the gearbox, so it bled out and has done unrepairable damage to the gearbox. So the videos I'm going to show you now are the roller coaster ride that I've been on since Monday last week. Show what I've tried to do to get myself back on the road. It has been quite a testing week, and lots of highs and lots of lows. But the one thing that comes through from all of this is how willing people are to help you. And I am really grateful for those people. And there's a bit of a montage at the end. You'll see it at the end. Okay, first major test of the trip. Coming through Tennessee, got to a little village or town called Sweetwater, and then my bike started making some very, very strange noises. I think I've smashed the gearbox out of it. I didn't hit anything, but it's pissing oil everywhere and it's making a horrible, horrible noise. But guess what? In Tennessee, shops are shut on a Monday, so I've checked myself into the Hampton Inn Hotel. I've made some phone calls. We found a BMW dealer. I got told to head to this little town called Alcona, which has a BMW dealer in it. I'm going to make some inquiries. It's only probably about a mile away from here. The bike still runs, and I've managed to limp it the 50 miles from Sweetwater to Alcona. So I'm going to unload the bike and hit the internet and see what we can do to get it fixed. It could be the end of the trip if it's terminal. I'm rather hoping it's not. The engine's still running fine, but the gearbox has, well, it sounds terrible. So I think it's the gearbox, but we shall see. I'll keep you informed. Okay, hi. Quite a worrying night, really. Just no idea what to expect today. We've been given this recommendation for a BMW dealer here in Alcona in Tennessee. Everybody says they're going to be great and they should be able to help me, but there's no idea. I have no idea what's wrong with the bike. Talking to my mechanic in the UK, Brian, he's quite convinced that it's a front bearing in the gearbox that's kind of just given up. Because the gear change is fine, the clutch is fine, the engine's still sweet. It's not leaking oil from the engine. It's quite stinky oil, which is suggests it's gearbox oil. So I'm really hoping that it is just a simple matter of taking the gearbox off, replacing that bearing seal, and get me back on the road. Other added complication, it's Easter weekend coming up, so this is a short week. I don't know how much availability this garage is going to have, capacity to fix the bike in the timescales that I'd really want it fixed in. But we'll see how today goes. I'm going to next calls. The hotel's kindly offered to take me down to the BMW dealer. I was going to try and limp the bike down, but to be honest with you, it's so sick now that I don't want to move it. So the hotel have kindly offered to take me down to the BMW garage, and then I'm going to throw myself at the mercy of the mechanics there. Speak to you later. Okay, made it here to BMW dealer at Alcona in Tennessee. I've put my bike into their service desk. They couldn't be more helpful. It looks like I'm at the top of their list. They're going to give me a shout in a minute. We're going to get a trailer and one of their mechanics to go and pick up the bike. I thought about riding it down. It's making so many terrible noises, and the bike's in pain. I don't really want to make it suffer anymore. So we're going to get the bike picked up, and they're going to take a look at it for me. Hopefully, I'll be out of here in a day or two. The weather's turned pretty nasty. There's thunderbolts and lightning at the moment, so it's probably a good day to spend watching daytime TV in a hotel room. Okay, this is Earl. Earl's come to help me. We share a secret about disc locks and to take them off before you move your bike. But yeah, it's off to the garage. Okay, this looks like the deal now. Just been talking to Kevin, who's their BMW mechanic here at Alcona. He's taking the starter motor off, and the clutch assembly, a load of bearings fell out, and he's shown me what they are. Very much consistent with being a front main drive shaft bearing that's given way. Problem is with that, when that gives way, the shaft can rattle around and do damage to the gears inside the gearbox. It could do damage to lots of other components, the selectors and the link rods, etc. So the option I've got at the moment is a brand new transmission gearbox from BMW in Germany. That's going to cost me £6,000, and it's going to take 2 weeks to get here. That's before they then take 2 days to fit it. So as options go, that one sucks. I've had people working on trying to find me a second-hand transmission here in the States. We think we found one in Texas, so it's about a 13-hour drive from here, unless I can FedEx it up. But we're going to make sure that that one's in good nick and it's going to work, and we're going to try and get that back up here. Kevin says even if he got it here today, it's going to be 2 or 3 days work to get me back on the road. So it looks like I'm here for a while. I'm going to go and camp out in the parts department now and speak to Drew, who's a lovely chap who has already started putting the feelers out to see if they can find me one. The sad thing is I could replace the front bearing. The front bearing is $15. If I replace that bearing, I stand a chance of getting back on the road in a couple of days, but no guarantees that it'll fix it, and I may be in a couple of days' time still in the same situations I'm in now. So not good news at the moment, but again, it's all part of the journey. I'll give you an update as soon as something happens. At the moment, nothing's happened. Okay, quick update. Just spent the morning camped out here at Good Times. Good Times. Start that again. Okay, update for you. I just spent the morning camped out here at the BMW dealers in Alcona. The parts guy here called Drew, who's recommended to me, he is absolutely fantastic. He's called in favors. He's hit the internet for me. We've done some research. We've looked in the whole of the United States for a transmission for my my bike. We found one now that is in a little town just outside, or a little town in Georgia. So it's about a 7-hour drive from here, which we think will fit. The mechanic's confident that he can make it work. He's now going to start stripping the bike down, ready to receive this transmission. I'm going to go and hire a car now and drive through the night, so that I'm there ready first thing in the morning for when this salvage yard that's got the bike opens. So hopefully by sort of lunchtime tomorrow, I can have the transmission here for Kevin, the mechanic, to start putting the bike back together again for me. I'm still a couple of days away, I think, from hitting the road again, but at least we have progress. I know where there's a transmission. It's going to cost me a lot of money, but we're making progress. So that's me. Hi, good evening, everyone. It's just before midnight. I've got myself a hired car, and I'm just about to set off for the 6-7 hour 400-mile trip down to Tifton in Georgia to, ironically, Steve's motorcycle salvage yard, where they have a gearbox, can't say gearbox. To say gearbox in the USA, they give you a blank look. A transmission for my motorcycle. They've worked today to take it out of the donor bike that's there, and the guys at Good Times in Alcoma have already started to strip my bike down. So hopefully by the time I get back here just after lunch tomorrow, I should, or they should, be ready to do what needs to be done on this new transmission and fit it to my bike. So as long as I don't run into any other problems, I stand a very good chance of being on the road in the next few days and trips back on. So wish me luck. Good morning. Driven through the night, through some of the worst thunderstorms I've ever seen, coming through Tennessee for about 3 hours. The rain was falling, it was biblical. I've never seen rain quite as hard. But yeah, an interesting drive down, but I'm now here at Steve's cycle salvage. Looks like they've got a fair few bikes there. I'm hoping the one that I'm getting it from is inside. But lovely little cat, it's come to say hello. Meow. Hello. Meow. Hello. Yes. Right, so most scrapyards have a scrapyard dog. This one's got a scrapyard cat. Hello, cat. Meow. Yeah. Anyway, we're still waiting for somebody to turn up. I'm a bit early. I've already been in once and she says, there's no one here. So I'm waiting outside. Customer service at its best. Anyway, give you an update as soon as I've got my transmission. Right, try and imagine this unthinkable scenario. Imagine somebody that you know, you love, somebody that you cherish, and they're in an operating theatre. The doctors and surgeons are working on them, and they're having a multiple organ transplant. Like every organ in their body is being transplanted. You wouldn't want to see that, would you? You'd pretty much want to wait until they were all sewn back up again and they were sitting up in bed going, oh yeah, it was quite painless really. That's really what you'd want, wouldn't it? Well, this is the scene that I faced when I dropped off the transmission at Good Times. Okay, so it looks like what we bought is a piece of junk, but they're going to see if they can fix it. We'll see. What I should have said about the transmission I picked up from Georgia is they kept me waiting 2 hours there, wasted 2 hours of my day. And what I found out is they were actually trying to separate the main drive shaft from the transmission itself. Now these things should just slide apart in 3 parts, and if they're well greased, they should do that. But this thing had been sat and rusted so badly that even with pullers and slide hammers, we couldn't get it apart. But the breakage yard had already damaged it beyond repair. The cheeky bugger though, it knows it cost me $200 to go and pick it up. I had to hire a car, the fuel and everything else, driving through the night through that ridiculous rainstorm. But he said, yeah, no, it's no problem, we'll give you a full refund, just as long as you get that part back to me. And he knows it's scrap, but yeah, he wants it back. He wants it back before he'll give me a refund. So hey ho, I'm just going to stick a tag on it, put a stamp on it, unpaid postage maybe, but yeah, he's going to get it back, even if I have to throw it through his front window. But I'm not happy about him. But Steve's motorcycle salvage, yeah, great stuff, mate. Okay, it's Friday morning. I've got to BMW place. I hadn't slept in 3 days, so I kind of had to go to bed last night and try and think straight. So after 12 hours solid sleep, I got up this morning to come down and see what the damage is. It turns out that the transmission I picked up from Georgia yesterday, which cost me just over $1,100, is trash. They damaged it trying to separate the final shaft at the breakers, so they've sold me something that just won't work. We've managed to locate another one in Wisconsin, which is a 12-hour drive from here. Yeah, it's a 12-hour drive from here. I could get a flight there this evening, and the guy there, Bruce Bennett, who's got the transmission, is prepared to stay open and wait for me to collect this. Problem is now I can't get a hire car, so I've got a few problems to solve today. So the update from where we got to get us to today is that we managed to locate a transmission in Wisconsin. But the good thing about having a hotel that is right next to the runway of a local airport is that they fly into Chicago, which is only 200 miles short of where this guy was in Wisconsin. So I booked a flight, and I could get there for... Well, the flight was going to leave at 7:25, so I would get there around about 8 o'clock. The chap kindly agreed to sort of stay open, and I would probably be there about 10 o'clock. Problem is when I got to the airport, the flight had already been delayed once. It got delayed 3 more times. We didn't actually take off until 11:15, which in itself wouldn't be a problem, but I booked a hire car, an Enterprise hire car, from the airport. They shut at 10. So I managed to get the local manager of Enterprise at the airport to phone ahead and tell them what was going on. And the poor bugger at Chicago stayed for 2 hours until I arrived there at midnight. But he gave me my car, and I also managed to get the guy with the transmission to get back out of bed at midnight and drive 100 miles to Milwaukee, where we met up in a petrol station in downtown Milwaukee, where he gave me the transmission and I handed him my credit card details. So I'm so grateful to Bruce for that. What I'd done by doing that is buy the time that I needed for the mechanic in Alcoa to fix my bike today and get me back on the road. So I drove through the night, probably about 700 miles. I stopped once for fuel, only because the car ran out and I had to get fuel, and I managed to get to the garage at 12 o'clock. I got there to find that all of the parts that they ordered last week from BMW to fit this transmission, we were missing the main oil seal. So they couldn't get one, and it's what day is it? Saturday now. They can't deliver one now till Tuesday. The garage is shut Sunday, Monday, so they will start to put my bike back together on Tuesday. So I'm stuck here till Wednesday at least. So that's where we're at. I think I might have stolen a hire car. I picked it up from Chicago, saying that I'd return it to Chicago, but now it's 800 miles in Tennessee, and I can't give it back because the shop's shut. So they're not open again till Monday. It's Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to go joyriding tomorrow in it, and then just I don't know, pay the fine on Monday. I have no idea. As long as they don't report it stolen, I should be okay. Okay, I mentioned the fact that the people are so willing to help you. I put together a bit of a montage of the people that have helped me along the way. I'm not going to name names because I don't really want to embarrass them, but these are some of the most amazing people that have helped me all week to keep my sanity. But they all have one single message, which I'll leave you on tonight. Enjoy.
My name is Kane, and I'm here in the United States, meeting this person who said that he is going to ride across the entire state of the United States. Let me tell you something. Take my advice. Never leave this man unsupervised. Okay? Never do that.
Do not leave this man unsupervised.
This man unsupervised.
This man should never be left unsupervised.
This man should never be left unsupervised.
Never leave this man unsupervised.
This man should never be left unsupervised.
Thanks, Chris.
Never leave this guy unsupervised.
Do not leave this man unsupervised.
Do not leave this man unsupervised.
Do not leave this man alone. Unsupervised.
Do not leave this man unsupervised.